I'm at the man on the mountain's house. Gonna read you. Oh, God. Yeah, the sun is just. Okay. So, I've debated whether to even put this on camera because, like, I'm not taking high doses just to brag about it. Y'all are following my journey. And so, about 3 weeks ago, I went to Denver to do 10 grams. I just knew I needed it, and that's what the medicine was telling me to do. It was awful. I can't talk about it. It was 3 hours of just sheer hell and screaming. But what's really cool is when I came out of it, that night when I slept, the next day, they gave me my discharge notes, and I wrote it. Like, in my phone, I was typing as fast as I could. It was really brilliant. Some of it's personal to me, but most of it is for all of us. And I wanted to share it with you because it's so beautiful. Live a life of comfort like it has been intended. If your friend is constantly working on his house and the work never ends, that is his story and his choice. If you keep suffering and feeling lost or guilty, that is your story and your choice. Let's choose softness and gentleness. If you feel like you have to keep camping and roughing it, that's an excuse to keep believing that life is a struggle, that you have to stay hardy so you can keep scrapping it out in the world. Maybe it's okay to live a life of safety and beauty. Maybe you don't have to earn it either. Maybe it's just owning it along with your grace. Acknowledge your ancestors today. They did what they did so that you can be what you are. You are honoring them, and you are them. You deserve for people to help you. Relax in it. Just say thank you. Time to go deep into loving yourself and pushing hard into that work, layer by layer. Know it deeply. Lean into it when it hurts. Do it until it becomes real. Calm, centered, safe, gentle, loved. You don't work here. Get out of the way and allow us to work. Resentment is held in the back. Memories are melding together from your lifetimes. When you've been prostrate with the medicine before, that same space, out of time and into the void, you learned grace, consent, patience, truth, and honor. He treated you the way you treat you. They treat you the way you ask them to. Mirrors of your consciousness. And you are a mirror of consciousness, working out the problems to find the truth. Truth is the answer, and we are all working faster to find truths so we can transmute them back into consciousness. Each situation is complex problems from lifetimes where the truth is muddled into chaos and pain. We are each working to serve consciousness, to keep working out the karma, complex problems, to keep simplifying it until it collapses into singular truth, understanding, peace, and letting go into its answer and sending it back into consciousness. We help you because you are here doing the hard work of love, solving in the density with labor and love. You are a vessel for that work. Those of us remembering what we are doing here are working to remind and inform the others of their divinity and to help them get access to the off-planet helpers to help make this less suffering but more painful. They said, there's a big difference between suffering and pain. Our bodies are the machine and the density that works out the problem, using the grind of emotion along with the logic of the brain to give it meaning, which reinforces the emotion which gives the body permission to feel it deeply, and then transmute that into energy and allow it to leave as information back to the energy where it is stored in higher consciousness. When we work out karma, we grab that knowledge and collapse it into truth and return it as love to the universal hum. Therefore, our work is to keep feeling and moving emotion with understanding. This means crying, laughing, talking, leaning into it. This means pain is necessary, but suffering is not. When you understand these truths, then leaning into pain becomes an act of work, of love. Love eases the depth of suffering and is the emollient to help it hurt without suffering, but with upheld universal love. Find yourself again and remember you're doing the divine work for consciousness, for your own karma, and for this one moment's human life. You've been here many times before, and you came again to do this work for the collective, a lot of it, faster, as timelines collapse into the universal consciousness with the quickening of the shift. Earth is participating. Remember who you are. Return to self. Call all the selves and attachments home and regroup. This is a temporary mission of this current work. You're exhausted. You're doing great. Please take this time to step back and heal. Thank you for allowing us to help you. We're sorry it hurts. If you get confused or avoidant, then you just have a backlog of pain. Lean into it again and help it move. But if you are overwhelmed and tired, rest. Also, don't make us say it twice. So, what they explained to me, and they showed me like three-dimensionally all of it that isn't conveyed in the words, is that our work here at this point on earth sorry, is to take pain of a situation. All right, so let's say there's some toxic relationship you're in, there's some job that is holding you back, you can't move forward in it, there's trust issues you've got in some circumstance, and even sudden losses of people through every means, that situation is complex and painful and full of lots of lessons from lifetimes or just from this one, but that what we're supposed to be doing now is hurrying up with the quickness to take that situation, do the appropriate work, take the appropriate actions to fix this situation, to not create any more karma, and to take the emotion that you feel from it after you do the right action, that you actually need to lean into the pain, find where you feel it in your body, allow that pain to sit in that area, give it to the mushrooms and the entheogens, even when you're not under the influence of them. Ask, inform me about this. And then they will, if you listen, you'll get that answer immediately. You will be informed of the root of it, where it comes from. Every time I've done this, it goes back to my childhood, to then someone else of the next generation before mine and before theirs. So it's ancestral trauma. And then I go, okay, that's interesting. And then I lean into that pain wherever I feel it in my body. And I ask them, for help moving this. And it seems like pretty quickly, within minutes, like I may like really start crying and feel it, but then all of a sudden it just lifts, and then you feel it. And then as it lifts, you're supposed to turn it into love, feeling backward and healing those hearts backward through time, and then holding it and releasing it to universal consciousness, which takes the information you just did and stores it in the collective consciousness, so that anyone else in that same situation when they go to do this same work again after you at whatever point, that they do this exact same thing, they ask to be informed about it, they're tapping into the knowledge you've banked, you and millions of other people have banked, to help move that rather quickly, so that everyone from all over the world and all walks of life that are praying, crying, drinking, doing whatever they can, talking to friends, whatever, looking for solutions, begging for answers, manifesting their way out of the situation. It's coming from that collective place where all of us are doing this work and sending our results to. It's like a computer storing all the information, and we are running the program, and then the result of it we're sending to that collective store of information. And that's our work here, is to just continue to take a situation, do the right things, and make the choices we know we need to make, set the boundaries, leave, whatever, stand up for ourselves, correct it, whatever. Take the risk, say yes, spend the money, move forward, help people, do the right thing. The feelings, then, we are supposed to feel it in our body, ask the collective unconscious, consciousness, the mushroom voice, whatever you want to call it, for information, listen to the information, lean into it even more, let it hurt more, and then cry or feel about it, move it as love with that packet of information back to the collective consciousness. That's literally all we're supposed to be doing here. And they tell me that's why there's never been this many people on the planet before, why there's just billions and billions on the planet, because there's a lot of work to be done, and we're all here to do it rapidly. So more and more people incarnated right now to finish up this karma, because the age of Aquarius is no longer about fighting and karma and pain, but about evolution, redemption, and joy and goodness and healing. So the stories don't continue. This is what they tell me. I'm not telling you I believe this. I'm telling you this is what they told me. I'm still working on how it feels to me, because I've been to the architect, and there's that whole discussion about simulation stuff. I don't think they may be necessarily separate from each other or opposites, or like that they can't coexist, but that's like other discussions. But we have those discussions at Mushroom Voice. You know, we have a high dose entheogen group. Depending on when you watch this, I'm writing a book on microdosing, macrodosing, writing a book on high dose and how to work through it. I've got a meditation book coming out. Got a lot of irons in the fire, but you can check out my store at Mushroom Voice. I'd love to get into these discussions with you on the community at Mushroom Voice. All the videos about the Amanita mushroom and all my personal stories and watching me trip and all that is at amanitadreamer.net. And I love you people.